Okay, so Silas here. This area is called Westlands. This is the start of Westlands. Okay, we're in Westlands. It's kind of like a neighborhood, but the suburban part is down that way. Yeah, the residential part is down that way, and then this is like the city proper, and this is Waiyaki Way, and if you keep going that way, you get to the central business district, the main heart of Nairobi, and this one of the, I don't know what you'd actually call it. One of the boroughs, like if it's like in New York, we're talking about there's like Manhattan and there's like the Bronx and Brooklyn and things like that. So it's part of Nairobi city, but a different borough. But yeah, one thing that is different about Nairobi is the roads. I mean, I've walked this one a lot, so I kind of know this road. It's the same kind of potholes. But even the sidewalks, like I'll show you some more in other places where, as you can see, this is a built-up area. So this is a place where, and people in Kenya walk a lot, but you still see sidewalks like this. And I was just thinking there's something about like when you're walking around, you kind of have to look down, or if you like someone like this, like your legs kind of bending in and out. And I was thinking it encourages you to look around more, have more like peripheral vision and things like that about where you're going and more aware of your surroundings. And I think it also just works out your ankles. It might be part of the reason. So right there I was talking about how possibly your ankles flex or get some exercise from having to stretch in these different ways by walking on an uneven road. And I was also thinking about how your environment changes how your muscles are, how your body is. There's this thing that says if you walk with your eyes closed, people normally walk in a right circle or a circle, counterclockwise circle. And I was wondering, is that because one leg is stronger? Now, what is the general effect? Let's say somebody drives a lot and you're constantly using the pedal with your right leg. You're going to have stronger leg muscles there, and I wonder how much that plays into the whole walking in a circle with your eyes closed. So that was the approach to Sarit Center, and now I'm in the inside of Sarit Center, sorry. This is one of the older malls, and it's got a movie theater upstairs, food court, Woolworths. I don't know what other, trying to think of what other names people would know. But yeah, Samsung stores. I'll be in this mall a few more times while I'm here in Nairobi, so I'll get more film of that and show you guys that. One of the things I will point out is I've noticed some places are a lot darker, whether you're walking in the streets or actually inside a place like this.
Go in there to get my SIM cards fixed.
You'll find some places that are just darker.
And KCB Bank over there.
For example, that KCB was rather dark inside.
Here's my bank. Yeah, so Silas here, Westlands Roundabout. That is the mall, called the mall. And okay, this used to be a roundabout on Waiyaki Way, and the traffic was really bad. So they blocked off the roundabout with these barriers, and you can see people still pass through. When it's crossing the road, people just kind of bunch up, and when you have enough people, you just go across the road. I mean, some places they have flyovers, like down there, that we can cross over the road. And yeah, that makes it easier. But as you can see, the traffic is really horrible here in Nairobi. Well, it's a major city and traffic is expected. A lot of vehicles. Public transport system is not the best, but it's there. But what will happen is a lot of these cars will just have one person in them. Ride sharing has come here. There's the Easy Taxi, there's Uber, there's Lyft. You'll see some ads for those in places. So some people are starting to use those more. And you see here that office building right there, that gray one. It was up 2 years ago, and this one has come up. Now they had like probably amazing views on this side, and now this building comes up. It blocks all their views and the light to that side. I don't know if that's going to change the cost of the leases and those offices and whatnot. But I know Oracle. Oracle is a company that makes Java, the internet thing, and they do have many other things. And they have, that's their headquarters in Nairobi, and I think in the region. Now here in the advertising, you can see that's Steph Curry and Baron Davis, bearded guy over there, I don't know. Some football players there, like F1. Also see some Kenyan runners there. So you can see there's still a lot of billboard advertising here in Kenya. And part of the reason why some sports teams, especially in the United States, might kind of be doing the things they're doing right now, they're going on with like the kneeling thing of I think Steph Curry right there. He just got disinvited from going to the White House. That's ridiculous. I think that whole White House thing should have stopped anyway. But it's kind of funny that they have that. But you see, they have this kind of thing where there's still a bunch of untapped markets for these people to have to get money. So that's the thing. Like Americans may have had the core where this sport came from, but they're still expanding to all these other markets. There's still all these other TV screens and people that can be definitely watching and enjoying whatever the sport is. And I mean, I'll wait and see because I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen with that. Because, of course, they don't care. I mean, if Steph Curry starts taking a knee to support Colin Kaepernick for the injustices, perceived injustices that black people in the United States of America are having, I think most of the people here who watch will just be like, well, what are you talking about? It won't really make sense to an international market. So there's kind of different things there. They may be overplaying their hand. Now here, this is another thing, these barriers you see up here, they were put up because people used to cross across the roads. And also I think somewhat for sound, not quite sure. And then, yeah, there's a bus station over there I'm gonna head to, get through this traffic. I'm gonna cross there. So yeah, here we are. And I'm gonna get back after I get to the bus station. Okay, so this is the Westlands bus station. The main bus station is right there, and as you can see, when the traffic comes, the buses come in. Matatus, those are the 13-seaters, those small ones, because they have 13 seats. Then the minibus matatus, and you can see these Starbucks have the same kind of painting. And then there's the city shuttle there, the green and blue. Lantana Sacco, you can see there. So right now they have this system called SACCOs, where the different kind of private owners, like somebody might have 2 or 3 buses, they get together. It's kind of like a union. They get together with a bunch of other people and then they can ply a route. So these buses will ply the route from town, which is down that way, the central business district, and they'll go up Wayaki Way and up to past Westlands, which is here. Then they go to Kangemi, some go past to Udhiru, some go even further. But yeah, that's the general thing. And you can see some of the buses, this is more typical of what the buses used to be. They used to just have a whole bunch of different kind of paint schemes and things like that, and they play music and everything inside. They were called matatu because tatu is 3, and I think they were 3 shillings when they started becoming popular. Not anymore. And again, you can see there this crossing. There's an actual crosswalk there, so occasionally people just cross. But another thing to point out is this grass, this fenced off area here. It used to be more just open, and sometimes it'd be shops here, people would be crossing back and forth. But this hotel here, you can see it, it wasn't here. I mean, it's been finished and being built in the last couple of years. But this comes back to that like roads thing where they say if the government isn't there, who's going to build the roads and other kind of things. But as you can see, I think these guys came in and then they wanted to have probably a parking here to help them have, or just have their front yard be kind of clean. So they kind of put this out here. And now this is what they have. Yeah, and there's some birds there. These birds make these really loud noises. And that's the thing. The animals, like the wildlife here in Kenya is pretty large. Like these, I forget what they're called. I'll get film of them later. But they're these like vulture, eagle type things that are massive. And they just kind of fly around and live in the city area. So, yeah, let's park in. Haven't been in there. Might eventually do more of these checking out places, but right now just gonna jump in the bus and head back. So yeah, was in Westlands. I'll do more walkthroughs of different places as I see fit, but for now just see Fire Assembly Point for the park-in by Radisson, which is international hotel, but I don't know if park-in is just a different kind of outlet, or what do they call them, brand. I don't know the actual term. So yeah, I'm gonna go jump on a bus here. Should be about 20 shillings, which is around 20 cents to get to where I'm going. See, and part of the reason why people just jump on out there is because if the bus gets full, it can just jump on and go without coming in here and getting stuck up. So I completely ignored my observation and we did end up getting stuck for a while. But even though it was during the time when people were coming back from work, there wasn't that much traffic and we were on our way. Another thing you notice on buses is these little kids. They're just probably starting school, but I guess 4 or 5, no, 4 or 5 is too young, but 6 or 7, just little young kids. And some schools have school buses, but most kids just find their way to and from school, be it walking or just jumping on public transport. So just got off the bus. It's a bit irregular of a stop, but you see the buses just come by, it's a wacky way, and they just slow down and you just jump off the bus. And this is Kangemi Soko. There's a big market there, an open air market, but shall show you that some other time. Right now I'm just going to try to cross. So there's a bridge crossing over there. So you can go back across and cross over, or you can just jump across the highway. See about heading up this way. I mean, if it opens up, I'm just going to go across. If not, I'll climb up where you see those people climbing. But it looks like it's going to open up here. Again, technically not legal to do this. I mean, like, the cops pulled you over and stopped you for doing this. But don't really care. But yeah, you can see there's people on the bridge up there. Yeah, so this is Kangemi area. Get across. Whoop. Here we go. So we're back up here. And yeah, that's a little trip down to Westlands from Kangemi area. Well, I don't know when I started filming. So,
not that old now.
Yeah, I did start filming before. So at this point I thought my phone was off, but it was still on, and I ended up catching a few things as I was walking along. And one thing, people don't film as much here, so it kind of sticks out if you're walking around with a camera. People are looking at you like, what is this person doing? What's going on? Huh? Hapo tupata hizo kama unaenda chini pale. So right there I was giving directions to someone who was asking me where you can find a bus, and I told him just right down there. Now if you have an app, for example Google Maps, it will tell you where bus stops are, walk times to get places, travel times. Pretty good job about it. But for whichever reason, whether it's just not having the data on their phone, not deciding to think about it, some people don't actually just go to the phones and find it. And there's not that much signage going on if you're new into an area. But you could always just ask people like this guy did. So yeah, this is Rehoboth Salon. It's like Rehoboth Beach in, what's it called? In Maryland. We went there for beach week, senior beach week for graduation. I don't know, senior year of high school. I don't know, if some people who live on the coast, this is a Montgomery County thing. People for senior year, I think it was after or before prom or something, we'd go to beach week for a weekend. Rehoboth Beach is one of the beaches we went to. And so I've learned how to do this thing. I need to get like one of those maybe GoPro type cameras where you can have it on your lapel and you can walk around recording. Because in some cases, if you're walking around holding a phone up like you're recording, it kind of not sets people off, but people kind of don't act as natural. And I like catching people just like naturally acting, and like people being like, oh, that person's filming. So with this, got the headphones in, talking, holding the phone. I got decent hand-to-eye coordination, maybe from the drawing stuff, where I can kind of get an idea of what I'm filming, even if I'm not looking for it. Because right now, the phone is down just by my waist, just holding it as I walk. So, these are different kind of stores, stalls, and markets. You can see what people are doing. some metal work here. Somebody called Juaka. I don't know how good the sound is going to be on this. Might be wind with this. But to improve the whole recording situation as we go. I think sometime later I might actually come in and walk into Kangemi and film more in there. But this is just a little part of Kenya. It's just a short walk from where I'm staying right now. So yeah, it's like charcoal and eggs. Yeah, so that's it for the first video, and I think I'm going to call it the Tis Nairobi or This is Nairobi series, where I'll just be filming about things around Nairobi and things that I see. If I go other places besides Nairobi, I'll film that too, and probably add that as another series of just different places I go to, and I'm just kind of talking about things I see in that area and things I find worth sharing with you guys. Or yeah, just also let me know if there's particular things you might be interested about knowing about Nairobi or different places that I'm at, and kind of things that you think are kind of interesting, just different questions, because sometimes I don't really understand the questions people would want to know about the place, especially if you've lived the places or if you've traveled more. You take some of the things for granted that somebody who hasn't traveled much might be like, oh, I'd really like to know about this thing, but for me it's just like, that's just that thing. So yeah, let me know. Till next video, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be having more of these coming up. But yeah, goodbye.